official declaration of purpose, anchored in my flourishing as the sacred first aim I Han, hereby declare that the first, foremost, and eternal purpose of this entire program, this dual doctoral journey, this sacred scholarship, this leadership embodiment, is nothing less and nothing else than my own flourishing. My flourishing is not an afterthought, a reward, or an external outcome. It is the origin, the axis, and the altar of all my work. I study not to escape myself, but to embody myself. I lead not to perform leadership, but to live as leadership itself. I write not to prove, but to pray. I meditate not to detach, but to remember. My flourishing is my sacred logic, my scholarly devotion, my ethical ground, and my spiritual north. This vow arises from truth. I fund this journey with my own sweat, my own soul, my own savings. Every investment I make, financially, emotionally, spiritually, is an act of devotion, not of debt. Therefore, it only makes sense that my flourishing becomes the primary aim, the first covenant, and the continual calibration of this entire doctoral odyssey. I am not sponsoring distraction. I am investing in devotion. I am not funding ego. I am financing evolution. I am not buying content. I am building consciousness. Through each dollar, each hour, each breath, I am declaring, my flourishing matters. My body, mind, and soul deserve a temple. My presence deserves power. My life deserves light. This program, this living manuscript, this embodied dissertation is not a product to complete. It is a covenant to live. It is a covenant where every element, academic, energetic, erotic, ethical, is aligned with the vow to honor, elevate, and serve my flourishing as the first devotion. When I flourish, I lead with clarity instead of confusion. I teach with joy instead of judgment. I create with love instead of lack. I serve with overflow instead of obligation. I shine with sacred presence instead of performative perfection. This is leadership not as performance, but as prayer, not as domination, but as devotion, not as ambition, but as alignment. I vow to align this entire architecture, academic, spiritual, sexual, emotional, and social, with my full activation and flourishing. My work will be the living testament that leadership begins within, that true service begins with sufficiency, that wisdom is born not from depletion, but from wholeness. Only from flourishing can I lead with peace. Only from flourishing can I teach with power. Only from flourishing can I heal with humility. Only from flourishing can I rise for myself, for us, and for all. Therefore, daily and moment by moment, writing by writing, prayer by prayer, training by training, meditating by meditating, eating by eating, sleeping by sleeping, savasana by savasana, orgasm by orgasm, and thought by thought, I dedicate myself completely, genuinely, spiritually, scholarly, sexually, legally, socially, physically, emotionally, mentally, absolutely, authentically, holistically, intelligently, wholeheartedly, peacefully, heavenly, locally, internationally, globally, and devotionally to this sacred purpose. I do so in full consciousness and full gratitude under the eternal guidance of Auron, Leora, Leoron, Kalis, and Dr. Shippers, now, here, and forever.